So in your team, how many developers are there?
For this team size was 15, and for that we were having 9 developers.
Okay. So I wanted to know how the locking mechanism works in concurrent Hashmap.
Yes. Once we get the bucket location, then all that bucket will be freezed for will be locked for concurrent Hashmap.
Okay. So if we discuss about the locking mechanism, how it differentiate from the Hashmap?
Okay, so Hashmap we can use in non-concurrent situations, but for the concurrent, that means multiple threads can access same bucket, okay, at a time. But here in concurrent Hashmap we have a locking mechanism for the bucket itself, so only one thread can access that bucket. Okay, in that if the data is present, then it will give the details of that data.
Okay, so let's take a scenario of we have a concurrent hash map. It contains 16 elements. Okay.
Okay.
And we have threads, like around 16 threads are there. First thread wants to update first element of concurrent hash map. Second thread wants to update second element of concurrent hash map. Can 16 threads update at the same time in concurrent hash map?
In this case, all the threads can access at a time all the buckets. But we don't know which element will go into which bucket location. Okay, so depending on that only, on the bucket location itself, the thread can access the elements, because we will have here a lock on the bucket.
Yeah, go ahead.
But for the Hashmap, in the Hashmap case, if the multiple threads are accessing same bucket, then we may get that concurrent modification exception.
What is difference between deep copy and shallow copy?
If we redeclare any data to that shallow copied class or that variable, then it will replace the new data. But in the deep copy, it will remain same. It will not. We cannot redeclare, or we can declare, but it will show the existing data.
Okay. What is the difference between interface and abstract class?
Okay. So interface is what it will contains own class. We can have abstract methods as well as the concrete methods, and here for the interface we don't the abstract keyword is optional, but for the abstract class, if we have one abstract method in the abstract class, then abstract keyword is mandatory for the abstract class as abstract. Okay. Again, we can implement multiple interfaces, but we can extend only one class. We can have a constructor in an abstract class, but we can't have a constructor in an interface. And the variables are public, static, and final in the interface, and the variables are abstract class are as normal instance variables.
Okay, can you tell me the real life example of abstract class and interface?
Okay, runnable is the interface. We have a run method in that, and abstract classes are in the collection itself. I think list is the abstract class.
Actually, I wanted to know real life example.
If I know the implementation for the abstract methods, then I will go for interface. Okay, so
no, I wanted to know real life example, like let's say from the client you got the requirement. On which scenario you will use interface, and in which scenario you will use abstract class?
Okay, so for this like we were having the transfer validation service here. So in that we have multiple for this. These are the all the that transfer validation, the transfer and webhook are the interfaces that we got the requirement from the client. Okay, and for this, so we were having the interfaces, that abstract classes.
Can you share your screen and open the Notepad++?
Okay.
So in the chat, I have given you some piece of code. Can you copy this content and paste it in another copy?
Yes.
So the problem statement is you need to sort this hash map by values.
by values. Okay.
So can you tell me what will be the output?
Okay. By values. The output will be 1 to 4, 5.
Let me repeat the problem statement again. You need to sort this hash map by values. So in the output also we wanted the hash map.
Okay. So
we wanted the output as PQR, 1, RTY, 2, XYZ, 4, ABC.
Okay. Okay. So output will be a PQR 1, RTY 2, then XYZ 4 and ABC 5.
Yeah. So you can write down the code.
Okay. By values, right? So otherwise I can write directly Hashmap. Yes, it will return map.
Okay. So and if let's say in the reverse order we wanted it, then what we need to do?
Okay. So here I need to write reverse.
Okay.
Otherwise, if we have duplicate values as well, if we have a value 1 is duplicate in the this map, then we can write here, then comparing Hashmap colon at key set by key set. Okay. Yes.
Okay. What is tree map?
The tree map is having the backend data structure as a binary tree. It will not accept the null key, but it can accept only one null key, but as a first entry or first element. But it will not allow duplicate elements as well. And if we enter the multiple elements, it will compare the element with the previous node, and it will likewise it will add to the left node or right node.
So how the key is stored in tree map?
A key is stored for the key map. I think it's by using it will compare the two elements because basically it will follow the this comparable one. If we want to add the customized comparator, then we can add that.
Okay. Can we create the private constructor in a class?
Yes, we can. We can create a private constructor, but we cannot extend that class because that constructor will not be accessible in the child classes.
Okay. How many ways we can break the singleton?
So deserialization one by constructor dot get constructor, that method and not reflection mechanism. That two I know, that reflection mechanism and deserialization.
What is garbage collection?
If we are creating the objects and after our use, the objects are not usable further, then it will be applicable for the garbage collection. If we are creating the object with a new keyword, and again we are assigning that object with a new variable or reference, then that object is applicable for garbage collection. For that, we have a finalize method.
Okay. So programmatically, tell me how you can use that finalize method.
If we are dereference the object, then we can finalize. We can call the finalize method, but we cannot tell that at the calling time only it will execute, because as per the compiler that scheduler, it will finalize method will work.
Okay. Let me give you a scenario in the chat.
Okay.
No. We'll discuss few things. What is difference between fail fast and fail safe?
If we are iterating the object that collections, and while the iterating, if we are getting the concurrent modification exception, then that are the fail fast, and the what are the fail safe, that at the time of modification, if we didn't get any exception, that are the fail safe. From the concurrency packages, that classes are the fail safe classes. Otherwise, the collection classes are the fail fast.
Okay. And in Java 8, what are the features have added for a comparator?
For the comparator,
yes.
Stream API we are having.
So is it related to the comparator?
Yes. In the Stream API, we can we can use that methods are there. Intermediate methods are present in the stream API that accept the comparators.
Okay. What is difference between map and flatmap?
Yes, map method will return. Map method will create another stream, okay, of different objects that we have passed to the map method. Okay, depending on that, it will create another stream. But for the this flat map is the streams of stream.
Can you explain me flat map in detail?
So if we have employee class, okay, and we have a string and integer as a key value. If adding that method, we are creating only employee double colon get salary. It will create a double type of stream. Okay, but for the flat map, if we are creating, it will give the streams of stream. That means for the flat map, it will streams of stream. It will create, yes.
What is the difference between array list and linked list?
Linked list and array list. Both are the implemented classes of a list. Array list is working on indexing. The backend data structure is indexing. Okay, but for the linked list, the backend data structure is W linked list. Here we are having indexing. Indexing is that array list is a best searching operations. But linked list is a good choice for the addition and deletion. And the yes, the default size of array list is 10, and here we don't have default size for linked list.
Okay. What is difference between sleep and wait method in multithreading?
So sleep method is pause the execution for that given seconds or a given time. Okay, but wait method will pause the execution till we call the notify method on that thread.
Okay. Is there any other difference?
We are having 3 methods in the object class of wait, but sleep is only one. Yes, sleep method is present in thread class, and wait methods are present in object class.
So why wait method, like wait notify all method, is present in the object class, not in the thread class?
Okay, so we are applying the wait method. That object class methods are applicable for all the classes that we are writing the class. Okay, but thread.sleep method is only accessible for extend that child classes of thread class.
Okay, so let's take a scenario. What is exception declaration?
Exception for which purpose?
For exception handling.
Okay, so exception declaration, that means you want a customized exception.
No.
If we are having the code like it will get an exception, then we write that part of code that in a try block. Handling that exception, we write the catch block.
So what is exception declaration?
Exception declaration.
No. So basically, exception declaration means throws keyword.
Okay, throws and okay. Yeah. For throws keyword is we write it with a method declaration. Throws keyword, it will throw an exception that we got in that method to the calling method. It will delegate that exception to the calling method.
Okay, so let's take a scenario. We have a parent-child relationship. Okay, in the parent class method we have display, and in the derived class also have the same type display method. Okay. In the parent class method, if we throw check exception, and in the derived class method, if we throws a check exception, will it work?
Yes, it will work. We are throwing unchecked exception from child class.
Okay, and let's say make it opposite.
It will not work. Actually, there is no rule for unchecked exception. But if we are having a checked exception, then we have to throw that exception itself.
Okay. What is method return for variant tab?
If we are having a parent-child relationship only. If we are having a number as a return type, okay, for the parent class method, then we can have in the child class method return type as the number or its child classes. But it is not applicable for this primitive data types. You can use this is for a wrapper or any other parent and child classes.
Okay. So can you tell me how to write custom exception?
Yes, we need to throw the customized exception from the our code, and we need to write another class that will extend that extends the exception or any specific exception to take one parameter as a string as a that exception message, and we need to write the parameterized constructor.
So can you write down the code for like custom exception? Okay. So let's say class employee is there. How you can use that my exception in class employee?
I will import the my exception class into this employee class. Through that this where we get the exception from there we can throw new my exception. Okay, and here we have to write the message.
Okay. Can you explain me try block with resources?
So try with resources is what the resources which we use as a parameter that are the implemented by autoclosable interface. That are only we can write it with as a try with resources. It is the optional for the finally block. Where we write the to close the database connections or other any close the connections part code that is the optional for that finally block.
So can you give me the examples?
Okay, so try with I can add
in Java 8 what are the already classes are there which implement that interface?
Buffer header, otherwise input output stream, that are the classes.
Okay. What is the difference between class not found exception and no class get found error?
Class not found exception. Okay. At the time of this runtime execution, dot class file will not found. That will be the class not found exception. Okay. And at the class def will not found that is the error, and we are importing the class, but the class is not available in the jar or itself. Then we will get the class def not error. Class def not found.
Okay. Can you give me the example like scenario instance where you will use the predicate function interface?
If we were having a test as a test method, that is the return type of that test method is boolean, and if let's say I want the integers from the given if I'm passing any integer and I want to check that integer is this even or odd, then I will test by the using predicate. That I need to write the predicate for that, and a test method I will pass the parameter.
Okay. So what is the method name?
Test method.
And what is the return type of it?
Boolean.
So what argument it takes?
It will it can have the integer string any parameter.
Okay. What is function interface?
Function interface is this function interface. It will there are two parameters T and R. T is the acceptance parameter, and R will be a return type of the function. Okay. So it will be any class or any object that will return the function.
So can you tell me the scenario instance?
We have apply method in the functional interface. Okay, so if I'm having multiple string variables into the list and I want to check the count for that, then I will check it by function T as a string, and R will be the return type that will be integer. So it will return the count in the integer itself by using apply method.
Okay. What is the significance of method references?
Method references we use by using a double colon operator. Method reference we can directly use the existing implementation of the method by using only this class name double colon by the method name. We don't need to write this separate implementation for that.
Okay. In the chat, I have given you some piece of code. Can you copy it?
Okay.
So we have a class employee, and assume it has few data members. Constructor and setters and getters are there, okay? And we created the employee list. So the problem statement is you need to get the count of male and female employees in the organization by using Java 8 features.
Okay, male and
female. So only the
employees.
single line.
Okay.
Only the single line you need to write it to get the output as female 3, male 1.
Then we need to add this which one by grouping by gender, and again it will return the count that will be. It will return the long. I need to use this grouping by, and another one method is there that will return the count for that. I'm not able to recall that method name.
Okay, let me give you the hint. It will be from the collectors.
Okay, that means collectors dot grouping by count. I think collector sender collectors.com. I think this will work.
Okay, what is the disadvantage of auto-word annotation?
Disadvantage is what once we use the at the rate and auto-add annotation, this class will auto-add by the name. Okay, so if we have the multiple beans present, then it will be confusing for this compiler to which bin we need to auto-add here.
Okay, what is inversion of control?
Okay, it will give the ability to create an objects to the container.
Okay, and what is the dependency injection?
Yes, if we have one class is dependent on another class, then one class dependencies will be inject the dependencies of one class into the another class at the time of execution.
Okay, I have done from my side.